Well, what's up, everybody? Zach with KT Outdoors, and today we're going on a quick walk in the rain for our week late mid-month garden tour. Let's go. Oh, it's wet. I love it. We needed this weather bad. I hope it does it all day long. I don't think it's going to, but things around here are sure going to like it if it does. So we're headed down here to the what I call the food forest area, just because there's lots of perennial things that have sprouted up in here. We'll just turn this way and we can look at this grapevine first. Like, the grapes are just going nuts. Like, every one of these is a potential cluster of grapes. Like, there's gonna be grapes everywhere. I'm gonna have to do a little research on if and how I'm supposed to thin the grapes to maximize harvest, because that it's starting to look almost like too much grapes, honestly. Hey, if you're getting some value out of this kind of content, do me a huge favor, smash that thumbs up down below there and consider subscribing to this channel. It really helps us with the YouTube algorithm, so that other folks who are interested in this content can find it and help our channel grow. So thanks for being here. We appreciate your support. Potatoes, I didn't show you that up in the other garden. There's a bunch of potatoes that went in the ground up there. So these are some fingerling potatoes. We've got some purple, and then just some store-bought potatoes that I had that were starting to sprout, so we put them in the ground to see what would happen. Raspberry bed has been expanded, so it's going to run through both of those beds now, because it already filled in the pathway itself. So we're just like, well, go ahead and have it. I need to get a structure put up in there similar to this one. You know, we've got some metal wires running there now. I think you can see those pretty good in the shot. So when these canes start to grow up and get a little bit bigger, they'll be supported between the fence and the rails. These over here, I'm not sure how good those were in that shot before. Those on that end are the black raspberries, and they're actually already starting to flower, I just noticed. And you can see those artichokes that survived the winter are just going nuts. It's kind of crazy. But look at all of these guys. Look at all of these raspberry flowers coming already on these black raspberries. Oh, that's exciting. Holy moly. Black raspberries around here come on in early to mid-July. So that's going to be the best harvest of black raspberries we've ever had so far. Last year they didn't survive the winter, and so they didn't flower because there was no last year's canes for them to fruit on. So we just got plants and not flower, or not fruit. Compost piles growing good pumpkins. They'll die when I turn it, but for right now they're off to a fun start. And these are honeyberries, which actually, here looks like one. They produce this tiny little berry here that's supposed to taste like a blueberry. They honestly taste a little bit bitter to me. It's a pleasant taste. But yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of torn on them. They take up a lot of space because we have a lot of them down here. You can see there's like two back up there, and there's one down there and one down here and a couple more hanging around, and they don't put on a ton of fruit yet. And honestly, the best one was this little one here, was just loaded. But you can see the problem with it being loaded right down there on the stump. See, the birds found it. And so all of the honeyberries went bye-bye, which is fine. I don't mind, because that's kind of the point of this space, is that they can have lots of things growing down here for them as well as us. So it's all good. More lettuce up in this space. This is honestly big enough we could start harvesting the outer leaves of that at that stage, but I have so much lettuce planted that I tend to not get to it as quickly as I should. And then it gets too big, and then it makes good rabbit food. So last thing I'll show you here really quick. Let's get in the greenhouse here. Move my door stopper. This is the single biggest reason to have, oh, it's so nice in here. Single biggest reason to have this hoop house structure, at least in our situation. That was actually pretty loud. That might have come through. At least in our situation, is this. Like, these tomatoes are absolutely thriving. Even through this cold spell that we've had, they're just growing like crazy, which is fun to see. It's the thing that I like the most about this structure. You know, there are things that you can get to protect your tomatoes, but to be able to just have them in this entire whole space, especially through all of this kind of cool, out of nowhere weather, keep the door closed, keep them moderately warm, any sort of sunshine, even when the wind was blowing 20 miles an hour, warmed it up in this space. And these all look great. These are really healthy Romas. I've got Jersey Devils and Amish paste that I started from seed. But anyway, yeah, so things are growing great down here. That's all for this one, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Remember to stay tuned for some of our upcoming content. We're getting deep into the summer growing season now, and we have lots of great information to share. We'd sure love to have you along for the ride. Thanks for joining us. Remember to get outside and get growing, because life's better when it's lived outdoors. We'll see you next time.